The public loves martial arts, and what I mean by that is that they may not be that into the spiritual, but they're clearly into the martial, the combative aspect. Um, they're very into the killing and the war, and killing and war is a part of the martial arts. Um, they love it, and they love football. That's kind of like stepping into the realms of the martial arts when you got two teams colliding with each other like that and just trying to destroy each other. That's like, stepping into the realm of martial arts. I mean, the football, it's almost like the soldiers with the shields and the swords, like just going all out on each other, just kind of like how in the Gladiator is when you got one army against another army and they just start colliding with each other. That's kind of like the football, and people love it. I mean, it's just like making millions, if not billions, of dollars. People love the boxing and all that fighting in the cage and all that other stuff. The competition sport, of course, there's the relevance to the martial arts because you're being violent towards somebody on the individual basis. So they love that. That's making millions of dollars. WrestleMania, which is like acting out violence, is making millions of dollars. Action movies, all sorts of action movies where there's killing, is a part of the martial arts. People love that. And something else that is really big that people love are the video games. And almost every single video game out there is about killing, is about war. The Call of Duty, James Bond, and all these different killing games. Grand Theft Auto, Gears of War, Assassin's Creed, Hitman. Anything involved with killing people, it's part of the martial arts, and people just love it. And I see that all I'm trying to do is try to promote people to practice something a little bit more positive within the martial arts. That, hey, you might enjoy this killing stuff, but let's just tone it down a little bit to have it a little bit safer. Just for example, like the video games, it's just a video game. Even though it's extremely violent, as long as people are not acting out this violence in real life, then it's okay. Because it's just a virtual world. They're being violent in the virtual world. But once you start being violent in the real world, it becomes a problem. And what I'm trying to promote is something more positive in the martial arts where, I'm trying to direct the people towards the firearms training because that is extremely relevant to the real dangers out there in this society today. We have guns everywhere. And especially in Chicago, there is so many killings that are due to these shootings. And all these mass killings are from gunshots. And really, I'm trying to, promote people to have a safer expression in the martial arts by, doing these firearms training, maybe with the Nerf war guns, the Nerf guns, which is a safe method of training in firearms. May it be like training with BB guns and using BB guns to practice target shooting. May it be to go to the firing range and actually fire real guns at targets to practice on your accuracy. May it be to go into laser tag games and practice with laser tag, or may it be with training in paintball and training in that method. All those methods, as long as you practice it in a safe way, are beneficial. Not only are you learning combative methods, and you're bettering yourself and helping yourself be better, gain greater proficiency in survival, but it also becomes like a light little workout. It can be a little workout, and that's kind of what I'm trying to encourage people to get involved with. And just kind of discourage a lot of this violence that's going on with this combat sport, especially the cage fighting is just taking it way too far, and just, it doesn't have to be so violent. Back in the day with the karate and taekwondo, or even not back in the day, even right now, karate and taekwondo, and they do the point sparring, is not nearly as dangerous as what you're seeing right now with the cage fighting. And even boxing is extremely dangerous as well. Even football is very dangerous. So I'm pretty much speaking against a lot of these dangerous so-called sports, but more so it's just more like leading towards like violence, and it's not something that I promote. And it's just kind of like the gang violence, people shooting and killing each other in the streets. It doesn't have to be like that. You know, we need to find more creative and expressive methods to express this energy that we have within. So I see that this world loves martial arts, but they're just so focused on the martial. They love violence, they love killing, they love war. And that is a part of martial arts, but they are in strong lack of that artistic aspect, and that's what I'm trying to bring to the table, to get people to be more aware of, and to kind of try to integrate that into this fascination with violence. Once you integrate that artfulness to it, it could become essentially something beautiful. Even video games in itself is art. You're turning violence into something that's more playful, something that you could just do and not really have to act out that violence in real life. So these people that create these games, this technology, it's their creativity. And obviously you see how popular it is and how much money it's making. That is something that, even though people are being violent with these video games, at least they're not physically hurting somebody like for real. And I think that when we're physically hurting somebody for real, that becomes a big problem. We're stepping into the realm of real war, and that's not a good thing. What Hitler did is not a good thing. With the Holocaust, it's not a good thing. World War I, World War II, and Civil War, and Cold War, and all these wars are not a good thing. Pearl Harbor is not a good thing. Basically, the atom bomb and the bombing of the Hiroshima is not a good thing. We need to step away from war and real violence. The Sandy Hook shooting is not a good thing. The Boston Marathon bombing is not a good thing. The Virginia Tech massacre is not a good thing. And I'm just going over and over again. These are the things that we need to put effort to stop. Even in the NBA, when they had that brawl between the Detroit Pistons and the Indiana Pacers, that's not a good thing. And they discouraged that behavior. And those players that got involved with that brawl, they got suspended, they got fined, they even got criminally charged. And that's what I see. We need to discourage violent behavior, and we need to encourage creativity and positivity within the martial arts. And basically, we need to promote more of a peaceful expression in the martial arts and in the society as a whole. And that's essentially what I'm trying to do. And even though we train in firearms and we enjoy playing, shooting games, and we enjoy engaging in Nerf gun games and going to the firing range, and we enjoy playing paintball and shooting BB guns and things of that nature, it doesn't mean that we have to be violent. We can enjoy these things while being safe at the same time. And I see that that's essentially what we need to learn to do when it comes to every single aspect of the martial arts. We need to learn to express ourselves, be creative, improve ourselves while being safe. And that is what my ultimate, in a way, one of my primary goals in my expression is to try to encourage people to head towards the positive within the martial arts.